Hey everyone, it's Jonna, the Preppy Crafty Girl, and I'm here for another Thrifty Thursday haul, or Thursday Thrifty haul. I think it's Thrifty Thursday. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I'm here for a thrift store haul. So, like I said in the previous last two videos, that I have been curating for a women's retreat that I am teaching at, and I developed a course to help people maneuver through, or I don't know, work through the grieving process. I have been like busy getting stuff for this class, and then along the way I picked up some extra things for myself, and I'm just gonna show you what it is. And so let's get going. I have a little collection in an old milk jug of these American flags, and I just found another vintage one and I had to grab it. I went to this awesome thrift store that had a ton of books, tons and tons of books. And then I went to another one because I found this junk shop in town, and I had bought some things from him before, but I went in and I told him what I was doing and that I needed to just get some books that were super, super cheap because we were going to be boiling them and tearing them up and stuff like that. And he had a whole room full of books that were discarded from the library. So they were actually headed to the dump. He said, just, take what you want and then I'll, make me an offer or whatever. So I did. These books that I have right here did not come from that. This came from another store that I went to that had great books, and I bought a bunch of books from them too. So I'm going to show you what I got from the one thrift store where they had a lot of books, not the guy that just let me pick through all his yucky books. So anyway, okay. So I found these beautiful leather bound books. I have not even had a chance to really see the date on them. It almost feels like fabric, the paper. It's pretty impressive. They're from 1854. I don't know that I really care for the content. However, there are some sonnets in here and things like that. But these books are just so beautiful and will just look beautiful like on a displayed or bundled. And so I'm kind of working on some displays and I just love that they are gold, have gold around the edges. I'm working on some displays for like the center tops of the tables and things like that. And also in my last video, I had discussed doing like a crafty buffet of items so that people could just kind of rummage through it. And so I want to work on a display of like displaying things along with like practical things. And I thought these books were so pretty, and just love the damage. I love that it is like damaged and old and kind of crumbling, and and then we're just going to turn our creations into something new and fresh. And so I just love the juxtaposition of the old crusty books, but they just were so beautiful. I couldn't leave them there. Then I found some bits that were on the floor. So these are going to make their way into an art piece that I'm going to be doing. I did get some just book covers. These are leather, and then this is handmade paper, the marble paper like they do in Italy. And I am going to use these book fronts for something, I don't know yet, some kind of maybe a 3-piece collage thing for, I don't know. I think that's probably what I'm thinking. Instead of more like a book cover, I'm going to use them as is. Oh my gosh, just the crustiness is just coming off. I found this little pad, and I am in love because it has aqua and yellow and is just aged to perfection. So I don't know if the camera's picking that up. I always pick up the Golden Guide bird books, or they have trees, they have seashells and flowers. And I don't know what else they have. But anyway, those are the ones that so I was like thrilled that I found this because I just love them. And I love the colors and I love the size. And they're so super, super cute to like put in a little bundle and stick in a, you know, a little crock or something like that. You know me, I never stop. I always stop. I mean, I never quit buying numbers. So I always buy house numbers. I got the number 8. And then I found this Eaton Victorian bouquet. It's called some vintage, probably from, looks like it's from 60s, 70s, somewhere in there. And they had sweet pink envelopes. They were not lined, which was a bummer. I like when I get the lined ones. And then they have this rose themed stationery. So I'm pretty excited about that. Ooh, and a piece of craft paper that's not pretty. So that's nice. Bonus. Then I am working on an album. So I love this. This may end up going on the front of, a journal, the front of the journal. That would be kind of cool. And I've got fabric. So this book, or this may go in just as a page in the gardening book I'm doing. I'm not really sure yet how I'm going to incorporate that, but I have options. I also have an Asian styled journal that I am gathering supplies for my shop. And I found this fabric. It is actually a curtain. So that is coming off. And, but I got 2 strips. So I guess the curtain needed to be shortened in length. And so that's that. I got 2 strips of this. So it must have been 2 panels and they cut the 2 panels short, to make them shorter. I'm not really sure. But anyway, it's perfect for, and this is actually really pretty. I didn't really want to do red. A lot of times you find the fabric has a lot of red in it. And this is more of a mauvey, pinky, burgundy in the background with some greens and grays and blacks. So I thought that was super pretty. It was just different than other things that I have seen. Let's see, I got this. Oh my gosh, this made me so smile so big. I just loved her. Somebody embroidered her on this. I'm not really sure what this is because it's not a cozy. It's not, you know, maybe just something to put on a tray. I don't know. Somebody made this. Unfortunately, it has some markings right here. I couldn't get them out. I tried soaking them. I tried all kinds of stuff that I use on linens. It did bring up a brightness though to the linen, which is kind of nice, but probably what I'll end up doing is just cutting her out. And I thought about putting her on a page and just making her like a flip. Or I may I've always threatened to do a coffee journal for myself. I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do with her, but she's super cute and I'm definitely going to use her in something. Okay. I got this little mug, which I put clips in, but it says Florida on it. It's super cute. It is orange blossoms and oranges, and everybody knows that I lived there for 40 years and I used to go there all the time to visit my grandparents. So I found it here and I had to get it. There were no chips, which is very rare for this type of ceramic because this usually chips very easily, whether it's the person that chips it or if they get chipped in thrift store. So when I found that, I was thrilled. That was in a warehouse thrift store that I went to. I had access to a 4-building warehouse and had a blast. So this stuff is kind of intermingled in and of what I got there. Then I got this cotton linen, I guess it is, big tablecloth, which is going to be perfect for the eco dyeing bundles that we're going to do. So each person that comes will end up getting some of this. And then I'm going to take, because it's so big, I'm going to take some of it and probably pre-do it with my own designs and just see how that, you know, if anybody wants to incorporate it and take a little bit back from my stash. I was so thrilled when I saw this. Oh my gosh. It is one of those bridge, this is what I've told you about in the other videos. This is one of those bridge tablecloths that they put on the card tables for ladies' bridge coffee clutches or whatever. And unfortunately, or Unfortunately, it had holes all throughout it. I don't know why they get these holes. I'm not really sure. I don't know that they don't look like moth holes to me, but they do get these holes for some reason in this cotton. And they're usually in the center, and this one has them in the center and on some of the sides. So that kind of made me a little sad that I won't be able to use it. However, like for the purpose that I would want to use it for, which would be for my camper. However, I can fussy cut these out and use them as like a panel on a journal. It would be so pretty on the front, quilted on the front, maybe even running some stitches in on the leaves and the flowers, and they have little smaller pink ones, and it is just gorgeous. So I told you I was working on a pink journal, and then I have the gardening journal. So these are going to make their way. Plus I will have tons left over. It's a whole huge tablecloth, and this runs throughout the whole tablecloth, and I will have plenty to give to my recipients that are coming. And then I found this. I'm working on a purple journal, and I found this. Somebody had cross-stitched this on here. I don't believe they finished it because the centers, so maybe they couldn't decide on what color they wanted to do the centers. I may go in and finish this, or I may leave it as is. But I thought this would make a fabulous cover to a journal. I kind of like the light blue with the purpley flowery thing. And this goes the whole length. This is a table runner. So this is going to make a beautiful journal cover. And then whatever I have left off, you know, I'm thinking too, whatever I have left, I will toss in a bin and people could take it and use it for their journal if they don't have, you know, stuff they want to use. Then I found this long table runner, crocheted table runner, and I love just using these center pieces. They're great. I make a lot of journal toppers, and they make great medallions on the journal toppers. So I always pick those up when I see them, if I can find them in a nice size. I also found some plastic doilies. So these are awesome for adding pattern when you're coffee and tea dyeing or whatever you're dyeing. These are awesome. So whenever I can find these, they're hard to find now with the holes that are through. Like most of the ones I'm finding now don't have holes. They're just solid plastic. So if I can pick up some vintage ones, I always grab them. It doesn't matter if they're discolored. I throw them in a batch of bleach and clean them up. So I have one, and then I found a rectangular one on another day. So I was excited to find that because I haven't been able to find them anywhere. And I know I can get them online, but it's the thrill to find, people. It's the thrill to find, just saying. I found this. I think that it was some kind of curtain. I'm not really sure what this was, to be honest with you. It's just a long piece of lace. So that will go in a pile for my class. I picked up some different colors that I don't have. These were in a bin and some sewing notions, and I got a couple of colors that I don't have. And so I don't have any of these like mustardy, browny gold colors, which is a shocker because, like, yeah, I love neutrals, but I also love, you know, aqua pink and teals and stuff like that. But I do love some neutral colors also. So I'm excited about these colors. I've been working at winding them on those little spoolie things. I did get an old wallpaper brush, which I am super excited about just for display purposes. I thought this would be really, really cute. Even if I found some little figurine or something to put on that, or I don't know. It doesn't really stand up anywhere, but I guess I could use some of that, what do you call it? That sticky stuff you use for candles, you know, that'll make it stand, or lean it up against a book. But this will go in my display. I found a thing of cheesecloth. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but cheesecloth has gone cray-cray. I was pretty excited about finding some of this because I'm sorry, I did not want to pay the exorbitant price for cheesecloth, but yeah. So I do have some of that. I got a couple of McCall's patterns. I just thought she looked very sharp in her vest is the same length as the skirt, which, yeah, this looks probably late 60s, early 70s, I think. Let me look. 1972. So I got that one. These are transfer patterns for initials, so you can embroider them on. I just thought this was really cool because you can iron them on, and it's a whole, this would be so cool to use in, you know, do words and stuff on our journal, so we can take them, and then if you want to slow stitch, you could, but it would just be adding a pattern and they're iron on, and you could put whatever word you wanted on the front or the back or inside your journal. Thought that was kind of cool. And then this, I think, has some alphas on it, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So frame guides, I guess when you're laying your words out, I don't know. Anyway, that is that. I've never seen this itty bitty tiny print. It's like it's typed right. It's like a typewriter on there. I love this font. That will definitely be going in some of my artwork somewhere. There's like another little sheet of it right there. But I love these iron-on letters. I'm excited for us to be using that. And of course, the outside of the packet can be used for a pocket or a page in the journal. And I was super excited about finding an apron because I told you I'm working on a cookbook journal, and I was like, aprons, yes. So this is not super old. This one's probably in the this is probably from the 80s. Let me see. It does not say. Oh, nope. This is actually 90. But which technically is considered vintage, which is crazy, but you know, I'm totally ignoring that fact because I think it is 25 years, 30 years, something like that, considered 2 decades, something. I'm not really sure, but this has been used and loved, but I just wanted it for the pocket. I'm gonna bother putting that back in there right now. I also picked up some of these, and the reason being, I've never seen these. They are the large type edition Reader's Digest. These are from the 80s. This is 86 and 87. And the reason why I got these was because look at the size of the font. This is so awesome. And it's not shiny paper. It's like a newspaper print kind of a thing. And it would be so cool to, you know, do your word, you know, get words out of it, you know, like boy remembers 3 times a week or something, you know. Anyway, so it does have some cute little illustrations in them, of course, but like a Reader's Digest. I did not get it for that. I got it for the size of the font and the font so that when I do like poetry or anything like that. Anyway, so these we will be using. It'll be so much fun to use in our books for the retreat. And yeah, so I'll have these available for sure. To pull some words out of there, even if you just use one word on the page. I also, okay, so all my stuff is in storage. This is why, or I would have plenty for this retreat, but this is why I've had to kind of curate stuff because I don't have my stuff out of storage yet, and I don't know when it's going to be out of storage. And so I have been trying, I've been having to go and collect more stuff. So which I don't mind doing. Okay, this is Betty Smith's from October 14th, 1946. And it is all of that shorthand. Sorry, I was reading. So it's all pages of shorthand. And this is so much fun to use in backgrounds. I got some more wallpaper border, a pretty little floral. This is not old, I don't think, because it feels and looks like it's just printed on there. However, I did like the colors. I liked, I am doing that garden journal, so that was kind of a cool find. Oh my gosh, I love this. So I don't know if you guys have ever seen my video of my craft room, but my craft room is done like 60s, 70s, and I have a whole office all done in this 70s wood grain. So I did not know they made a binder in the wood grain, and so I found a wood grain binder. So every piece that I have found in there, the only thing I don't have, believe it or not, is a pencil cup. I cannot find a pencil cup. I have the stapler, I have the blotter, I have the paper tray, I have the tape holder. What else? I have everything except for I do not have a pencil cup. I'm on the search for a pen. Oh, I have the pencil sharpener. You know, the ones that you put on the wall? I have one of those. I have a pencil sharpener. I even have the electric pen, wood grain electric pencil sharpener too. So crazy. Okay, let's see. What else did I get? I got a stack of grid paper because who doesn't love some grid paper? And I love this because it's big squares. So that's fun. I got these to keep. I have a whole vintage display at Christmas time of all vintage Christmas. And these will be so cute to put out on the table in that room that I put it in. Just I have a couple more magazines from Christmas that I thought these were so much fun. And I wanted to show you this lady. Oh my goodness. You're supposed to wear this thing to the beach. Okay? You use towels to make this thing. Can you see? Look at her head. What is that? What is on her head? I don't know. Anyway, this is hysterical. Cracks me up. And then you have her over here who is totally, she made a skirt out of a two Fieldcrest bath towels. I mean, I guess that was the thing, huh? I don't know. I'm laughing because who would wear that? Who would wear that thing? You're covered. You know who would wear that? Do you remember Gidget when it was Gidget goes to, was it when she went to Italy or something like that? Her friend would had a big floppy hat on because she was very fair skinned and freckled, and so she would go out there with her big giant floppy hat, and she had like a muumuu on. She'd go to the beach like that. That's who would wear that thing. That is who would wear that thing. Anyway, so this is super fun. I love looking back at the arts and crafts from back in the day. This is Anne Rayburn stuff. And then she also wrote in here some things that she wanted to make. So page 7, the wreath. Page 23, it was a snifter or something. Page 61 and 67. So that was super fun to go through to see what Anne wanted to make, which I think is super smart that she put it in the front. Look at these retro cats. Okay, come on. That is with the spirals hanging down. Bow, chicka, bow, bow. Oh my gosh. I love that. Okay. Anyway, enough of those. Then this was so much fun. Homes for All America. This is from 1955. And I loved it because in this book, which I'm laughing because my plans are for a house like this. And then when I was looking through this book, I found this piece of paper in here. And 1961, The Home I Want Someday. And Anne Rayburn made herself this little note that this was her home that she wanted someday, with the little carport and the stones right here. And then this was the back. So it'd be perfect for like a mountain view or a lake view, because all windows and doors and everything like that. And And it says, this is a house designed for a mature couple whose children have left home and who wanted space and comfort in a new, smaller house with a special personal sort of warmth. Redwood boards, exposed beams, and stone excavated from the site gave this house its special character seen from the street. But cozily into a hillside, its uphill flanks dip below the ground in a low-slung L for protection from the summer heat and the winter wind. Oh my goodness. I hope, Anne Rayburn, I hope you got to build this home, the home of your dreams, because I just think that is the cutest thing ever. And I'm going to be adding this to my journal on my house. And she was like, I don't know what they were doing here, but she was sketching some things. Not really sure what. Anyway, these mid-century homes, this book is so cool. Just super, super cool. Remember how you have the drive-in basement and then there would be rooms over the, oh my gosh, I just love this. I just love it. I love it. But mine, I'm going to do these retro windows in mine. That's in my plan for the retro kind of windows like this. Because the only reason why I like these windows is if this is your single story, right? And this is where you would walk in and if you do the regular windows like they normally do a regular window and they put them in the bedroom, you can't put your bed underneath the window. Like, yeah, if you put your closet door on one wall and then you got the door coming into the room, that leaves you 2 walls. And then you have one that goes into the bathroom. That leaves you 2 walls, right? Well, where do you put your dresser? Where do you put your mirror over the dresser if you have one of those? I mean, I don't know. So I decided I'm going for the mod home from the 50s look, the Frank Lloyd Wright and that kind of style, because I just think it makes more sense. And no one can stand outside the window and look in, and that's just, and they make them now where they open, so if you had to get out in case of a fire, you can. But that is my plan anyway, is to do that. Not that you needed to know that, but anyway, I love this book. I love it, love it, love it. I found these postcard collector bulletins, which I thought were super cute for us to use as ephemera. So it's got these like calendars in them, and then it has pictures. This is so much fun to use as faux ephemera, or for ephemera, like for tuck spots and journaling spots and everything like that. So anyway, I bought, I don't know, there was a couple of these, and then there was another one called Postcard Dealer, which I love the artwork on the front of these. Look at those ladies. I'm so glad I did not grow up in that era of having to wear that swimming. Yikers. And then this is Postcard Dealer, and this is another